Hi, welcome to Boring Money, Rich Life. I'm your host, Joy Hicks, and today we're going to talk about brokerage accounts because I feel like sometimes we hear that we should invest and we just kind of do things and we don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of like dipping our toe in the water. So, I wanted to talk about brokerage accounts and just the different types of accounts that are out there because I will say personally, when I first started just getting into stocks myself and just started buying different things, I set up a TD Ameritrade account. And I don't even know, I think I might have just like Googled different brokerage accounts and things like that. But I started with them and I think everything was pretty smooth as far as like setting up my account, buying the stocks, being able to see real time updates as far as like the stock price and different things like that. And I would say this was definitely like a few years back because I was just kind of like dabbling in investing. And I would, I want to say maybe like a year or two ago, my TD Ameritrade account was bought out by whoever they were like merging with at the time. And during that time, I was actually preparing for my house anyway. So I wasn't putting as much money into that account. I actually had like some NVIDIA shares at the time. And I actually think I like closed them out. So I wasn't really like paying attention to my brokerage account. Of course, my TD Ameritrade account was automatically moved over to the new company, but I just wasn't really paying attention to it as much because I had like other life events going on. So now that I'm looking at expanding my financial IQ and being more financially educated, getting back into investing and all these different things, I logged into the new company and I had like $25 just lying around in the account. And I didn't realize that a brokerage account pays dividends. Now, mind you, it's a very small dividend, but I guess, although I wasn't investing that money and it was just sitting in my account, I was still getting dividends from having the money in there. So that was something I didn't know that it did. And I was like surprised to see these little few extra cents in my account because I'm like, hey, I'll take it. I also reached out to that company and I was just asking them about opening up a Roth IRA. Now, I'm not telling you guys to open up one of those accounts. You should definitely like reach out to a financial advisor and figure out what works best for you. But I was just inquiring about it because of some things that I'm learning myself on my own financial journey. So I called up the company and I was just asking them, how can I open one up? And then the process was pretty easy. I was able to ask all my questions to her, but that only came up because I bought recently a stock. Well, actually, it's an EFT. So I bought an EFT last week. And then I was just kind of asking her about different questions about it and just asking her, whatever questions I had. I don't even really remember specifically what it was. But we started talking about the fact that I only have a standard brokerage account. So that means that the account as is today, it kind of acts like a checking account. You can have money held in that account. It'll get small incremental dividends just by sitting in the account uninvested. Or, you can also like withdraw money from it. You can add money to it, things like that. So it kind of just works like a standard checking account, but you're actually buying and trading stocks. And so she was saying that in order to have more tax advantages, I would need to look at a different type of account. So she was telling me I could open up like a Roth IRA with them, or I could open up a traditional IRA with them. And I'll be honest, I didn't realize when I initially set up the account that there was no tax advantages as is with that account. So I feel like that's something that people might not know either because it wasn't really something I was paying attention to be honest. I was just trying to dabble around in investing. But now that I'm understanding more of what these accounts are, what the different tax implications of them are, also, I felt like it was important to talk about because, again, you might not know either. So if you just go in with a broker or like a brokerage company and you just set up a standard account, you can do everything on there. You can trade, you can buy stocks, sell stocks, all these different things. But again, there's no tax advantage. So in order to kind of start getting into like pre-tax accounts or after tax accounts, you have to actually set up that type of account. So it seems very simple, but I know there's so many other like beginners out there who are just trying to understand these different investing topics because this is not something that's taught in school, right? We are literally all learning together. So I would just say definitely research what works best for you. You know, if you're fine with the standard brokerage account, that's great. But definitely understand that like a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, they are going to offer at least like some tax advantages. But the difference is just the fact of kind of when you can utilize it. So those IRAs are typically going to be for like retirement and like long-term investing, whereas a standard brokerage account is going to be more just like a checking account where you can add and take money from whenever. Of course, there might be fees and things like that, but it's going to be a lot more accessible than your IRA would be. So that's something to consider as well. But I just thought it would be helpful since a lot of people are starting from scratch as far as like their knowledge to at least let you know that there are different types of brokerage accounts and they have different fees and they also have different tax advantages and tax strategies. And the taxes are applied at different times. So definitely do your own research. But the good thing about most brokerage companies, they are typically 24 hours. So you can look on their website, you can give them a call about any questions that you have. They'll also, a lot of times, stay on the phone with you and like make sure you're setting up the account right or answer any questions that you have while you're setting it up. So there's a lot of support as well when you're looking to understand these different types of accounts. So as always, what is one boring thing that you can do today to start fueling your rich life? I'm your host, Joy Hicks. Thank you for watching and be sure to subscribe.